Hello again YouTube, Mad Dog here, welcome back to my channel. So another beautiful day out in the woods, and this video, just a quick one from me. I just wanted to show you guys and lasses why I carry a small piece of leather, just an offcut of leather, and a carabiner, and some of the many uses it has. Stay tuned. Alright, what we've got going on here is a piece of leather. It's only soft, thin gauge leather, measuring approximately, I don't know what's that, 3.5, 4 inches square. And I've gone ahead and crimped an eyelet into one corner and a small carabiner. Now, I carry these because in my opinion it has many bushcraft camping uses. I call these the Mad Dog Paw Pad. I do put them on my eBay shop, so I'll get the plug out of the way. You can find these. I sell them, you know, as cheaply as I possibly can, always with free P&P, so you'll find a link for these in my description box below. But it is basically just a small piece of leather, soft, nice soft leather, and I'm just going to whip through some of the many uses that has right now. So you've blown your bird's nest to flame, and I've got all the bird's nest sitting on my leather pad, and I can take my time and blow that to flame, pinch the ends together of my leather pad, my paw pad, and carry it over to my fire pit safely. Now the advantage with this is if you're using a lot of very thin fibrous material for your tinder bundle, it doesn't just get blown away and lost to the wind, whilst at the same time protecting your delicate little pinkies and the palm of your hand from the heat and the intensity of your fire. Buys you more time. Okay, so quickly, another little use for the piece of leather, or the Mad Dog Paw Pad, is, as you can see at the top of my lavoo tent, where the pole goes into the two joining ponchos, to save your material being damaged by that pole. Doesn't have to be a lavoo, you know, any teepee or any tarp or anything where you may be using poles, you can put your piece of leather up there to protect the material of your coverage. And with the carabiner hanging through that eyelet there, it also makes a nice way of obviously hanging a lantern of some sort to your choice up there, you know, or any other utility item that you may need. It's just a nice little storage point, and it will also help protect your tent. We can use our piece of leather to help us prepare tinder, especially if the ground is wet or damp. If you're working with something like birch bark, we can take our knife and start processing that tinder on our leather piece of leather, our paw pad, and this will help the tinder that you're working with stay dry. And once you've established your bundle that you require, you can take that off, put it in your piece of leather, fold it over while you do all the tasks so that it isn't all lost to the wind. As you can hear, quite windy out here today. The same with a piece of fat wood. If you want that really good mire dust and you want to prepare off the ground, lay out your piece of leather, and obviously you can get those shavings going out, that mire dust or that golden goodness, that pile of golden goodness, until your heart's content. And then obviously once you're happy with your tinder, we can spark that bad boy up, and now we're still able to transfer that flame to wherever it's needed to the fire lay. Obviously, ideally, you would want to prepare your fire lay as close to your tinder source as possible, and you're not going to burn yourself that way. So there's another use for the little piece of paw pad. two more simple little uses for this piece of material is, obviously, I'm not going to bang on too long and bore you all to death, because you could go on forever with this. You know, there's like, you could use it to push for a pressure wound dressing, to apply pressure to a wound. I'm not saying absorb or keep a wound clean or sterile, but to apply pressure in an emergency. With it being leather, you can fold it double and put the carabiner in the centre. You've now got a makeshift bearing block for a bow drill fire set. Just pan you down here a little ways. Obviously it's only a small piece of leather, so if you're going to do this, you've got to be very careful. You can take a hard piece of wood that's been kissed in the fire and a nice piece of flint, and if you're any good at this sort of thing, I've got to confess I'm not, you can go ahead and start your bopping, your flint knapping by pressing off flakes on pressure points to create the shapes that you want from your flint. So, and that obviously protects your leg from the sharp shards of flint. Another quick simple use is, and this is, I'm talking about a mend and make do situation up here in the woods, in the field, wherever you may be. Your knife, you know, at the end of the day, at the end of the evening, you can find yourself a piece of wood, a board, whatever you may have around your camp, and obviously the back side of this leather you can then turn into a makeshift strop, you know, double this over back on itself, and then put that on your split stump. You've got quite a nice strop material. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm not going to bang on too long about basically what is a small piece of camp leather. Obviously the other one that I've clearly failed to omit is, obviously when you've got your hot cookware on the fire, obviously if that was my cookware, I can then use the piece of leather to take off any hot implements off the fire, should you do what I normally do and forget your gloves. I have actually got them with me today, so all's well. But it can get you out of that situation in a pinch without having to mess about with sticks and spillages happening and all the rest of it. So obviously I've shown in a previous video, if you're using small items like my very small pocket-sized brew kit that I carry, so if you have a small ferro rod, a small packet of sweeteners for your coffee, a small folding knife, everything miniature size to go into a single cup brew kit, then when you're working around your base, you can put this on the floor and put all those small items on that leather pad to keep your admin nice and tidy, so that none of your items get lost to the litter. Because when you're working with smaller items, it's very easy to lose small useful bits of kit to the litter. So in my opinion, a well worthwhile piece of kit to carry. If you don't buy mine, that's fine, I ain't that bothered, but please consider getting yourself some and adding it to your kit, because it's very versatile, very underrated, and not many people show it. I mean, it carries anywhere. You can clip it to your belt, your webbing, your Bergen, you know, fold it up, put it in your pocket. I dare say you could use it as a hanky if you wanted to, you know, and it weighs nothing, but it has multiple uses. So in my opinion, well worth carrying. Hope you find it useful, if not entertaining. Take care everybody. I'm going to kick back and have a brew now and relax. Thank you all very much for your continued support, and until next time, Mad Dog signing off. Yeah.